So I figured out that, you know, it's not really important to them that I see the videos that they make. It's just important to them that they make videos because they want me to sit watching videos on my phone. Like, they don't want me to show up publicly. And you know what? I'm not even trying to become a YouTuber. I'm probably going to use a different platform, just like Kuan Yin and all these other people did. I've watched them use Kick. I've watched them use OnlyFans. I've watched them use Twitch. A bunch of different ones. And honestly, YouTube is a little bit more high end than what I'm going to be trying to say, but I at least wanted to have a few videos about me on YouTube, especially since YouTube is part of an MDK for Hire campaign against me. Yeah, you have been. Yeah. Uh-huh. There's a real special place on my colon for you. It's not, it would have been my heart, but, that's the best place I could find for you for now. Yeah, that's how bad you are. So, if you didn't notice in the last video that I made, they make sure now that if I try to upload a video onto YouTube, that it's really slow and glitched out. It doesn't matter if it's just a minute. It doesn't matter if I try to make a short. It doesn't matter if I just upload a regular video or whatever. They make sure that the sound is off and that everything's really slow and off. And I tried to make several different shorts several different times. Ever since I survived a few attempts out here, I've tried to make some videos, and it wouldn't even let me watch the videos that I made. They were like so adamant about me not making a video at all. I understand that to everybody else, it's a game and it's a show and it's fun and it's funny and it's entertainment. It's, like that movie Gamer or whatever. But for me, it's my real life. And it's been my real life, my entire life, that you guys have been using for your trash and your energy harvesting and your torture and your abuse. It couldn't just be like one traumatic event that was really bad, or a traumatic time frame, or the result of something really bad that something that I did or whatever. It couldn't be any of that. It had to be like a person's entire fucking life. Yeah, an entire fucking lifetime. Like, I'm about 40 years old. I'm not entirely sure how old I am yet. I still need to get a DNA test done. I was just given permission to use an address. So within, not too long from now, hopefully I will have a DNA kit ordered where I can actually start the ball rolling. It's very rare that anyone lets me use an address, and I am well aware that after I say that, that people are probably going to try to fuck with me really bad to prevent that from happening. But I'm just giving you guys like an idea of what I'm going through now. And other people, that's something that I've said several times over the last couple months. So it's definitely not a secret. I've said it, I've written it, I've said it over phone calls, I've mentioned it to people in person, I've mentioned it about 1,000 times. It's not a secret. The fact that I am unaware of my true identity and or birthday, that's kind of an issue. The fact that I've been out here for years, and you know, you guys have told me that my identity might not be right, and you know, I kind of have needed like an address, and every time that I end up in a place where I'm able to use an address, I'm run out of there very quickly. I'm usually not in a place. Things just got so bad that for so long, just consecutively, that I stopped even trying to stay anywhere for any extended amount of time. The place that I've been in now, I've been around here for a couple months. I guess I consider that extended. It's definitely more than a few days or a few weeks, but I wasn't planning on staying here too much longer. I have no idea yet. So anyways, yeah, people kind of not wanting me to be aware of my identity or who my relatives might be is one of the reasons that I'm run all over God's creation and never allowed to just sit and chill or, you know, like build a life anywhere, rebuild my life anywhere, which is really rough. I'm a little bit tired. It's evening time, and I flew a sign for like off and on a lot today, and I was able to get the Walmart's best men's boots, like the best boots that Walmart can buy, that you can buy at Walmart or whatever, which fortunately you only have to have like $80 to buy Walmart's best in this town anyways. So that's cool. So now I've got some Grizzlies, some steel toes, some waterproof steel toes with pretty good soles and stuff. Yeah, I got soul. So yay, I got some shoes. Yay, and I got some other stuff that I needed too. One thing that I'm really excited about, this like thermos thing, and yeah, stuff. Cool stuff. Yeah, it's usually that I'm not really, so as far as like the stuff getting goes, I was never really like, I never really had money for stuff so much. Like, I never had everything that I needed. Like, there was never any point in my life that, like, I actually had everything that I needed and everything was okay. And it was very rare that I actually had money to go out and, like, buy and spend. Not like you guys do. Like, not like I see everyone else doing. Everyone else is so attached to it all and interwoven and intertwined with it all that they would probably, like, some of these people, like, if everything shut down and the monetary system collapsed even temporarily, some of these people would die. Like, they're that dependent on the system. It's that bad. They can't even, some of these people wouldn't be able to just even imagine or dream of a world in which they weren't just spending money from a bank account however they wanted all day long. And that's all that life is. That's all that life is to them. And that's all they've ever known. They've never had to just be like, well, this is how the cookie crumbled. Now I'm going to have to sit in this tent. You know, now I'm going to have to go sit in this homeless shelter and eat in the soup kitchen or whatever, like a lot of people have never had to do anything like that before, and they would absolutely die if they ever did. So I'm sorry that I can't actually create a sober time to sit down and talk to anyone, and that you're just kind of gonna get the really tired, spewing forth, kind of baked version of me for now I until I go through the process of quitting the 420. I mean, I'm not sure whether or not I'm gonna really do that, but I might. Um, I do realize that, like, the people who don't know who I am super don't give a fuck, and the people who do know who I am also super don't give a fuck, and they're also just gonna be pissed to see me. So, it's like, it's weird to just be like in this weird, like, space, this weird, like, dimension apart from everything and everyone else. Like, suspended in a different form of reality. Like, just waiting to be, like, and I really don't have very much energy as it is. I have started to get a little bit more energy, I guess, since I quit nicotine. And since I'm not like 250 pounds anymore and stuff like that, but like, energy has always been like a really big problem for me. And probably the best time for me to choose to speak to any of you would be like earlier on in the day, maybe out in the sunshine or in the light, things like that. I guess I could make time for some shit like that, even though I know that no one gives a fuck. I kind of figured out that one of the biggest reasons why there were so many people making so many videos was to keep me from speaking up in any way. I know I started to say that earlier, but I don't think I completed what I was saying. I'm not really used to being in conversation anymore, or like, oh, I said that in another video also, and it would have been a lot cooler to show up for some kind of positive reason, or to show off some kind of skill or whatever. But the truth is that I super don't give a single motherfuck about showing off any fucking skill or helping anyone with any fucking thing. Unless it's like saving souls, or like finding missing people or dead bodies or whatever. But like, those are the things that people don't want me to do. It's like, those are like the top things that no one wants me to do. I like learning. I really do. I like listening. I don't mind listening, as long as I'm actually learning something real and positive, and that it's for a good reason, not just to drag the fuck out time and just make it to where it's bearable, because, and then I'll look up, at least people are giving me attention for the first time in my life, even though none of them actually know me or know who I am or give a shit. So it's not actual real attention. It's literally like simulation attention. Like, I really wasn't trying to get attention before. That's kind of why I was a hermit alone on my phone. But then, I kind of had a camera in mind. It made it to where I wasn't alone ever. It's like, ever. But I wasn't alone anyways, because the angels were always with me. And then it was like, well, at least people are trying to give me some information. Maybe people care about me and stuff, you know? I was like, man, they really put on quite the production. There's so many of them, and they're really, taking a little bit of time and learn their stuff. And, anyways, they all seem to be trying real hard. So I figured I'd listen. And it all seemed really important. And it's like, I've just been listening. And, I'm basically starting to, like, I guess it's all just been part of the energy harvesting programs. Like a lot of the tarot readers and a lot of, like, for some reason, it was like they linked up, it was like how do I say this? It was like they somehow used these videos in correlation with the Neuralink and the energy harvesting crab, and they would use these videos to, like, like I was saying in the last video that I made, that whenever I first realized that people were talking to me on there, I was completely mortified. Like, I was glad. Like, what hurts is that I was glad that people were actually acknowledging me for the first time. And, like, I honestly thought that because people were acknowledging me for the first time, and that they seemed like they were being encouraging, and they were like, we know your true character and all this, like, there was part of me that really believed that. It was like, you would obviously naturally want to, if there was even like a 2% chance that, people were actually looking out for you, and that there was, some checkpoint that you could make it to, or, checkpoint time frame that you could make it to, or whatever you had to do to, make it out of the situation that you were in, you know what I mean, to be rescued or to make it. Like, there was all these different people talking to me, and I really did not know who they were. And there was one of them especially that, like, I was real kind of leery of. I'm not gonna get into that, but that person ended up being, like, related to me and shit. And fucking, like, I didn't know that as I was fucking watching them. Like, they, in the beginning, started to explain that they had previously been married to one of my siblings. But, which was mortifying. I mean, I was absolutely fucking terrified. I was like, oh my god, this is somebody who was, like, behind the scenes working with my family and stuff against me, and he's one of the people that's been taking pictures and videos of me and following me and, creeping around in all these fucking apartments around me, and, like, sending all these people to me and causing all this fucking mayhem and shit. This is, the leader of whoever, you know what I mean, is going on through my head. I'm like, these are the motherfuckers that are responsible for fucking half the shit that's fucking terrible in my life. And, and here he is, on a YouTuber, talking to me, and, it's, could be, fucking 10, 12 different voices behind him, getting him to, say or act or do or be however. And, there's no fucking telling how many fucking people have, what all they think. And then these videos come up, right? And you can tell that people put a lot of, like, that they're well-made videos, but everybody made sure that, I mentioned the backgrounds in the video that I made before this, but I wasn't being entirely 100 with what I was saying. The videos, what I was saying was that there was something different going on in those videos and the backgrounds and stuff, and it very much reminded me of the fact that my mom's ex-boyfriend was a photo analyst for the CIA, among other things. Or the NSA, or the Men in Black, or whatever's above all that. Whatever special classified ranks and special. And anyways, sometimes it was helpful, and sometimes it was I almost said incredibly and extremely at the same time. Sometimes it was incredibly helpful. And I even went through a process in which I was getting so much positive encouragement, and I was going through kind of like a transformation, and they were honestly really helping me, because I really had amnesia really bad, dude. I was like alone taking care of my kid, and things were really, really bad, and things had been bad, and I knew that people were trying to do worse things, and that there were worse things in the horizon. I was just so overwhelmed, and people were talking to me, and I did my best to try to see the positive in it, to try to, if I even had a little fucking tiny chance, a fucking teeny ass fucking tiny chance of there being like good guys in the midst of everybody, or that people were actually thinking positively and wanted things to be positive, and wanted me to live and survive, and wanted me to make it, and wanted to help. Like, I thought that maybe people did, but and I began to go through this incredible transformation, where I began to heal in a pretty miraculous and incredible way. And I even reached some heightened perspective, and it was almost like my body itself changed, and everything. It was really bizarre. It was like people were so good to me all together, all at the same time, and it was so perfect. And there was actually, like, it felt like people were really trying to help, and it felt like there was real holiness there, and it felt like God was behind it. And then I needed them to continue on like that. Like, I needed for them to continue on and to help me to continue to heal. Like, they were literally like, it maybe wasn't them, it was me, but I was using what they were giving me. I was using their positivity, and I was using their there was something, I don't know what it was, but I ended up like really, it seemed like they were being genuine, and maybe they were, and that's kind of the thing. It's been a really weird process, you guys, but it was like a lot of energy and a lot of me being like, you know what the observer's effect is, right? I don't know. It was just like, the fact that I was being acknowledged for the first time in my life. People were acknowledging me, and they were showing me some kind of care or concern, and they were acting like they were on my side of things. They were giving me information, when I knew that all along it had been the other way around. Everyone giving other people information about me, updates 24/7, constantly. And now, like, suddenly the tables seemed like they had turned, And people were making all these videos, and they really seemed legit. Like, they seemed really passionate about what they were saying. Like, there was one of them especially that was like talking so much mad shit. Like, and these people were, I mean, they were talking a lot of, they were talking a lot to where it was like, man, these people could be like really, you know, they would be putting their lives at risk if they weren't actually like the people who are in those organizations who are allowed to talk about themselves like that. You see what I'm saying? So, like, people aren't really the suffering rebels the way that they try to make themselves out to be. Like, there's one chick who's like, she's shot out on the fucking streets. Her hair's all fucked up and shit. She gets into a hotel room once in a while. She's a tarot reader. She does really well. That chick is a Fed. That chick works for the Feds, or she works for the NSA, or she works for the whatever. She's in whatever organization or whatever, and she is not, it's like, yeah, sure, right now she might be a suffering person on the street sometimes, but she's not really. A lot of them are, like, a lot of them act like they're targeted people and that they're suffering and they live out of their cars and this and that, and they're not. They do not. Yeah, or if they live out of their cars, it's because they've been following your ass around for fucking years. They're all sitting around like, oh, we're waiting on our inheritance. No, you are not. You're waiting on my fucking inheritance, motherfucker. Shit. Shit, I hope we can find that joint. The whole big ass nice joint. Stank. The stankest that I fucking had in a long time. This shit handed me out the window. And this time it wasn't poisoned. I have to put most of the dankest stank that they hand me, I have to put it into these containers and put it in a bag over there. You wouldn't believe how much herbs that I have in a bag over there that I will not smoke because I know that they did something to it. Oh, I got some milk and cookie on my... Yeah. Bunch of stank that they did stank to. It has some fucking formaldehyde or God knows what it has on it. Witchcraft or some kind of fucking... You never know. Earlier I was like, is there anything positive that I can say? And then I was like, well... And then I started dreaming about my spaceships. And about how I'm going to be in these spaceships way above all the sex offenders. Way above everybody who pretends that they can't do anything about sex offenders and pedophiles and chesters and chomos. Maybe I could be way far away, all of you. Way far away from all of you. Then I have to come up with something more positive than that, because that's not very positive. But that was the first attempt that I made behind a subway to think of something positive to say to you guys, which was that someday I'm going to be in a yellow submarine way, way up in the stars. Way, way, way far away from everyone who pretends they can't fucking do anything about anything. Yeah, they want to act like they can't do anything about any of the harvesting. Any of the harvestings. No, they want to pretend they can't do anything about it. So, I just have to sit in this motherfucking tent, I guess. Just have to sit in this tent. Because everyone wants to pretend they can't do anything about it. Hey, you guys want to see this glow headband? I got it at Walmart. I got it at the Walmart. I'm going to show you. It is a freaking Liberty headband. How diggity is that? This is going to be super awesome. Saving it for a special occasion. Yeah. I'm tired. I ate like half a cookie. I'm not used to talking like this. It's really difficult for me, actually. It almost feels like being on the phone, which is one of the most difficult things for me ever. Like, I hate being on the phone. I can't stand being on a phone, talking and chatting. Oh, I can't stand it. I always know that on the other side, there's lots and lots of people. There's like 30 or 40 or 50 or 500 people listening. And that it's not just me and them. And most of the time, I'm all baked and stuff. And I'm just not the best communicator when I'm baked. And, one time, the other side asked me to stop getting baked. They were like, it's a little bit more difficult to communicate with you sometimes when you're baked all the time. Or that's what they told me whenever I was back in Beverly Bananas. And I was like, well, shit, that sucks to hear because I really like getting baked. Like, really like it. Well, it doesn't mean that you have to stop forever. It just means that you have to, not do it all the time like you do now. Because it kind of interferes with things like dreaming and memory. But, you know what I mean? That's why we use it. Because it interferes with our memory and communication skills and things like that. It makes it just easier not to. For a long time. For a really long time. Yeah. Mm-hmm. We are slowly. We have identified for a very long time the importance of sobriety and clear-mindedness and clear thought and transparency and communication. And we have a little bit better of an idea of the situation that we're in and what we got to work with. And we have identified that we're stoned all the fucking time and that we should be slightly more prepared to interact or express ourselves publicly or speak. And even though we kind of don't give a fuck about being baked as pie as fuck, at this point, it might be a little bit different, in other circumstances. Kind of fucking important ones that may end up rearing their nasty or even beautiful heads at me. Things like having to testify in court, potentially, or, warn other people of impending disasters. And I also have to kind of tell you guys about what the Archangel Michael told me whenever I was a teenager, because I've never actually made a video about that, and I probably should do that and upload it before, to kind of maybe give you guys more of an idea of why everything is so weird. Yeah, because after I tell you, if you knew some of this stuff, and there's just a few things like that are missing from the broad spectrum of things. So it's basically lots and lots and lots of people who've made lots and lots of tarot videos. And there's going to be, I guess, other people that make videos in the future. Maybe if, I know that people think that I'm going to go out and go back to Jesus and stuff, but I'm totally not yet. But I already said that 5,000 times ago, and it's been years, and people tried as early as within the last month. So, yeah. And, dude, I got hit with this fucking energy weapon a couple months ago, or 6 weeks or whatever the fuck it was. It was absolutely fucking horrible. I made a video that day. It's like a video that says something like another attack or some dorky ass title. I don't know what the fuck to title any of this shit. Like, I'm a fucking straight up hobo out here, but also, like, I've kind of been a victim for a really long time. Before being a homeless person, I was a mom. I was a manager of a fucking Pizza Hut. I had 2 vehicles in a 3-bedroom apartment. But I didn't always have it like that. I only had it like that for just a second because they stole my kids, and I was forced to, like, I used that time to work and make money and make all of that. They kept my kids from me for 2 fucking years, and then they said that it was because of pot. It was super fucking retarded, you guys, and I'm gonna have to, I guess, make videos about that shit too, but, like, at the time that all this shit was going on, like, I've honestly been afraid to make fucking videos about anything. And people are like, were wanting me to be a tarot reader, and I wanted to be a tarot reader too, but, like, anyways, they ended up, the tarot readers, like, anyways, it could have been something cool, and in the beginning, it really was helpful, like, and that's whenever and then, like, it all stopped abruptly, and I realized that I'd been, like, deceived, and it was, like, this really fucking demented, disgusting, cruel, fucked up way to be deceived. It was, like, really shocking and disgusting, which was to find out that the whole team of people and the person that they had as their, like, little head honcho dude, like, not only was he my relative, but, like, was, like, I guess the father of one of my kids, and I didn't know it. And